Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Alex Thomas here, back with another video for you guys. Today, I'm gonna go ahead and do the RAD 9 movies that made us challenge today. I'm gonna show you guys 9 movies that, basically that I grew up watching all the time and at home. I tried to pick some like niche stuff. I got a couple things that are like, not big, but of course I had to go with some big releases and stuff and things that people know. I was born in '93, so most of this stuff is stuff that I watched a lot as a kid because maybe I had a DVD, VHS, or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go through all these movies. I got some honorable mentions. You guys are about to kind of be surprised what some of those honorable mentions are. But I'm ready to get into this video. Shout out to the Born to Be Rad podcast. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you so much for watching my channel. If you are new to my channel, please hit that like button, please subscribe for more, and let's get into this video, you guys. Let's get it. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into honorable mentions. And I got like three big franchises that I'm just gonna put in my honorable mentions because it's so obvious to pick these. Obviously, we got the Halloween franchise. Halloween is my favorite horror movie of all time, and of course, I love Halloween 4. And I remember, like I said, I was 5 years old when my uncle took me to see Halloween H2O. I was 5 years old. That's the movie that kind of got me into horror, and I watched that one constantly. Like every time it came on TV or I had a VHS for it. Same with the original Halloween. I bought the DVD. I watched that constantly as well. So of course I have to throw this in honorable mentions. And the next one, of course, is the Star Wars franchise. Another franchise that I constantly watched a lot growing up. Shout out to my mom. She loves the original Star Wars movies, got us into it. My father actually bought me this Blu-ray collection, and I will never get rid of it because he bought it for me. Of course I have to throw Star Wars in honorable mentions. And my last honorable mention, of course, we're going to have the Back to the Future trilogy, which you guys are surprised. Oh my God, that's not in your RAD 9? No, because it would be obvious that it would be in my RAD 9. You guys probably thought that would be number 1. And actually, all this stuff is not really in particular order. I literally just picked stuff up and threw them into a list. But yeah, I'm going to throw Back to the Future in my honorable mention because it would be obvious for me. If you guys have been following me for a long time, Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time. So it would be kind of obvious if that would be the case. So yeah, those are just a couple honorable mentions that I threw in there. So let's go ahead and get into my main 9 movies. And the first one, I don't know why. This was like the last one I picked up out of my collection too that I didn't think about. That, oh yeah, this is a movie I definitely watched a lot as a kid. And that is The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin. Me and my twin brother watched the hell out of this movie. I remember my mom showed me this movie. It was on like Encore or something like that, and I just remember, oh, that's the kid from Home Alone, and he's in a rated R like suspense movie. Like, this is weird. And I remember watching it, and I watched it a lot. I saw Elijah Wood, and I'm like, that's Frodo. Like, so you telling me Kevin McAllister and Frodo made a movie together? That is so random. So of course I watched it, and I had the VHS for it. I actually had a recorded tape with this movie, and it constantly got watched over and over and over again. Me and my brother can recite every single line, every single music, like all the music. We could hum the music score like it's nothing. I'm sorry, I know this movie is not great, but I love this movie. I don't care. Nobody say, yes, the music is over the top. Macaulay Culkin is over the top, but I love this movie. I really do. So yeah, this had to be on my RAD 9 for sure. Next on my RAD 9 is going to be Life with Mikey. I know this is a 2-back. It got Fatherhood and Life with Mikey, but Life with Mikey is next up on my RAD 9, starring Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox is like he was a child actor who kind of got washed up, and he becomes a talent agent, and he's not really doing good. His agency is doing terrible. He's doing this with his brother, who was played by Nathan Lane. And he's basically he's a low down, no good guy. Like, he's very horrible, terrible hygiene, and he's still riding on the high that he used to be a part of this show called Life with Mikey. And he finds this girl who is actually pretty good at acting, and they become colleagues and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's how the movie goes. It's a nice little heartfelt movie. I would count this as a Christmas movie because it takes place around the holiday season. But I love this movie. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Michael J. Fox. This comedy really hit me in a different ways, obviously because I love Michael J. Fox. But this is another movie that I constantly watch. This is another movie I can recite every single line. Me and my twin brother recited this line like it was nothing. Oh my god. This is also another one that had VHS tape. I had this and Home Alone 2 on the same VHS tape, and we played them back to back to back to back to back. It was hilarious. But yeah, I love Life with Mikey. If you guys have not checked it out, it came out in my birth year as well. It came out in '93. So yeah, it's a 90s comedy. Like I said, I don't know if it holds up. I don't know if it's as funny as most people think it is. I think it's funny, obviously, because I grew up on it. But yeah, so Life with Mikey is next on my RAD 9. And next we got another big franchise. We got, I know it's Bad Boys 1 and 2, but I'm going to put Bad Boys 2 for the next one up. And oh my god, this is another movie that my mom got the DVD from either the library or one of the rental stores like Blockbuster or Hollywood Video. If you guys remember Hollywood Video, you guys are the GOATs. And oh my god, this movie was on constant repeat. At the point I didn't want her to take back the DVD from the library. I wanted to keep it. And we constantly watched this movie over and over again. This is another movie, of course, everyone can recite the line. Bad Boys 2 is one of the most quotable movies ever made. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have great chemistry. The music, Michael Bay at his highest. Yeah, I love this movie. That freeway car chase, oh my god, one of the best highway chases of all time. I watched the making of that chase so many times and reenacted it with my Hot Wheel cars and everything. It was crazy. But yeah, so this, of course, I had to put Bad Boys 2 on the list. I love that. I love that movie. It's not great, but I love the movie. I love it. So yeah, Bad Boys 2 is next up on my RAD 9. Next, we got another big franchise, and of course, I had to throw it in there, and that is Lord of the Rings. I remember the first time I saw the Fellowship of the Ring, and I was mind blown at the end when Frodo and Sam are walking off in the distance, and it ends. I was like, wait, the movie's over? I'm like, oh, I thought, why did it end like that? And not knowing, of course, there was 2 other movies, but oh my god, the Lord of the Rings trilogy alone. So I'm kind of cheating because I'm counting 3 movies. But I kind of count Lord of the Rings as 1 movie. But this trilogy alone was on constant repeat in my house. Lord of the Rings was one of the first DVDs I ever got. Was one of the first DVDs I ever owned. And it was on constant repeat. I remember getting Two Towers and Return of the King on DVD. I remember watching Return of the King when it premiered on Starz. Because I couldn't go to the theater to see it because obviously I had no way to get there. But I remember when it premiered on Starz at 9 o'clock. Oh my god, I was so hyped, so happy to watch it. And it's another movie I probably can recite every single line like it's nothing. The visuals and the 4K looks amazing. If you guys have not bought Lord of the Rings on 4K, these movies look fantastic. It's coming up on my rewatch for these movies. I need to rewatch these, especially the 4K. And yeah, I absolutely love this trilogy for real. Next, we got the Raimi trilogy. Yes, and like I said, I know I'm cheating you guys because I'm putting in a trilogy. I love all 3 of these movies. Yes, 3 is not great, but I love it. Spider-Man 2 is probably the one I'll put on the list because I watched it so much on constant repeat. I remember getting that DVD, even though it was full screen, it was pan and scan. I did not care. I watched it constantly. There's another movie I can recite the line, the music. If I hear a part of the music, I know exactly which scene is happening. Me and my brother reenacted this movie so many times, man. The fucking train sequence, oh my god, I probably watched that scene over and over again. Like once they get to the clock tower and ends with him stopping the train, I probably fast forwarded that scene. I remember the exact same chapter mark when it starts. The chapter mark starts with them falling and them hitting the train. That's where the chapter mark starts on the DVD. And oh my god, these trilogy of movies, like I said, I love them, of course. And if you guys have not bought these on the 4K, I think the 4Ks look really good as well. So definitely buy this. But yeah, so Spider-Man 2 will be next on my RAD 9. Next we got Titanic. Yes, the James Cameron masterpiece, Titanic, with Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet. This is another movie that was on constant repeat. This is my grandma's favorite movie of all time. So we actually did a all-nighter watching this movie. And think about it, we had the VHS tape, no DVD. So imagine watching it over and over again. We had to put the tape in, rewind it, start it over again. Like, we literally pulled an all-nighter watching this movie. I will never forget that day ever in my life. Every time I talk to my grandma, we talk about Titanic. You know, we bring that up every single time, and it's crazy. Yeah, I love this movie. This is another movie I can recite the lines, hum the music. You know, I know every beat by beat of this movie. And it looks great on Blu-ray. James Cameron, I need the 4K. I need a 4K. I think an anniversary already passed for this, so you already missed the window for a 4K. Like, what the heck is going on here? But yeah, Titanic is next on my RAD 9. Next we got, I had to throw a Disney title in here, and I had to pick 3, obviously my top 3. I went with this one because this movie is just amazing, and I remember watching it a lot as a kid, obviously, and that is The Lion King. This movie is a masterpiece. I don't care what nobody say. This is another movie that was on constant repeat. Being a kid in the 90s, of course, this probably was on everybody's TV. Everybody had the clamshell VHS tape of this movie. Obviously, Hans Zimmer's score is fantastic. Matthew Broderick as Simba is great. Jason Weaver's singing. JTT as Simba. Everything about this movie to me is phenomenal. It breezes through. It's not slow. Yeah, and I love this movie. I definitely, obviously recommend it. If you guys have not seen Lion King, definitely check it out. Show your kids Lion King. And yeah, of course I had to put it on my RAD 9. It was only right. Coming down to the wire to the final 2 movies, and I had to. And of course that is Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Oh my god. I remember the first time I saw this movie. So, funny story. I actually, so what happened was we were at the hospital. I think either my grandma was in the hospital, somebody was in the hospital, and it was playing on the TV, and I couldn't hear anything. I'm like, what is this movie? And I remember watching it, not hearing no dialogue, and I was like, man, this movie is awesome. It got Arnold in it. I need to see this movie all the way through. And I remember getting back home, it was actually replaying on Sci-Fi, and that's how I watched the movie. And then I remember getting the VHS tape, and also the VHS tape having no sound. Like, literally no sound. I had to have the closed captions. And also the tape went bright dim throughout the entire movie. And I didn't care because I already saw the movie, so I already knew what was happening. But it was funny because I that's how I would watch the movie. And then it turns out that it wasn't the VHS tape, it was the VCR that needed to be cleaned. If you guys remember that, you guys are the goats as well. We actually had to clean our VCRs, you guys, because it would get dusty. But yeah, and then another person gave me the 2-disc special edition VHS tape. Yes, there was a 2-disc VHS special edition with the special edition, the extended version, and I had that version as well. And of course, you know, we've gotten so many different editions. I have the steelbook right here. Of course, I got the 4K. I got another steelbook. I got the Blu-ray. I almost went out and bought the DVD. I almost bought the VHS tape. I might get both of those releases. I might get the VHS tape and I might buy the DVD just because to have them. But I love this movie, clearly. If you guys follow me on Letterboxd, it's in my top 4. And obviously I recommend it. It's one of the best action movies of all time, one of the best sequels of all time, and it had to be on my RAD 9. And my final pickup, it was only right. I could probably put this entire franchise in this number 1, but I'm going to just throw it in here, and that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This franchise was my childhood. It literally ended when I graduated from high school. And it started with me being 8 years old. This movie came out 2001. Yeah, I was 8 years old and it ended when I was 18. It's crazy to think that way. But obviously I love this movie. I remember going to Family Dollar and begging my grandma to buy me the DVD because I wanted it so bad. My uncle CJ got the pay-per-view for me and my brother. We watched it on repeat. When I mean repeat, we watched it every single time. If you guys remember pay-per-view, you guys are the goats as well. But man, this movie was on constant repeat. Obviously I have the steelbook here. This steelbook is dope. I kind of wish they would have kept doing these steelbooks. Obviously Chamber of Secrets already passed, so there's no point of doing like a 20-year anniversary. But I would have loved if they kept doing these steelbooks. Obviously I already had the steelbook collection and I love that steelbook collection, but if they would have kept releasing these, I would be having a second set of steelbooks. And I know there is another steelbook set out there, like the Dark Magic steelbook collection. I heard it's not really good packaging, so I didn't want to buy that. But I kind of wish they would have kept continually doing this. Of course, Harry Potter had to be on my RAD 9. It's weird because I don't have Back to the Future in my 9. Obviously, it's in my honorable mentions. I actually saw this movie before I saw Back to the Future. And at that point, the Harry Potter Sorcerer's Stone was my favorite movie of all time. At that time, but then I saw Back to the Future and that changed everything. But I love this movie. It's another movie I can recite from the beginning all the way to the end. The entire franchise. I can literally say every single line to the entire franchise. I can hum every single music. I love the Harry Potter franchise. This was my Star Wars, obviously. And I love it. And I definitely had to add it in my RAD 9. And that does it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys enjoy more videos like this, if you guys enjoy physical media, watch-alongs, trailer reactions, reviews, gameplay videos, all that type of stuff, you're in the right place. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. More videos will be coming in the near future. If you guys are ready for that as well. And I'm on this one, you guys. Peace out.